On March 28th, we'll be presenting the federal budget in the House of Commons. It's a document that lays out our priorities for the year and for the coming years, how we're going to be investing in programs and initiatives that are going to help Canadians and move us forward as a country. Over the past years, some of the big issues, for example, was on childcare, on investments in the middle class, investments in growth, to fight climate change. These are all things that end up in the budget as we move forward. But I thought it might be useful to talk a little bit about the process of how the federal budget actually comes to be. So I want to talk about the steps that we take as we move forward. The first thing we do, the finance minister reaches out to other members of cabinet and says, what are we going to put in the budget? So first step is proposals. Every minister will look into their department to see what it is they need to be doing for the coming year, what investments are going to be important, how they can continue to advance the goals of the government and the desires of Canadians. Second step is around consultations. The finance minister and other ministers get out across the country and hear from Canadians about what their preoccupations are, what their needs are, where the federal government can be stepping up. We also speak with experts from stakeholders to organizations that are impacting Canadians across the country to see how they're doing and where, as a federal government, we can really make a difference in what they need for the coming year and the coming years. Third step is the finance minister and the prime minister get down to work. Finance minister pulls together the proposals, the consultations, and in coordination with me and my office, figures out how to pull together a budget that is going to be investing and supporting Canadians, while at the same time staying responsible in the fiscal frame we're in. We know there's big needs across the country, but we also have to make sure we're doing it in the right ways, and those are all the conversations that we go back and forth on. Then we move to step 4, which is budget day. The finance minister gives a speech in the House and puts forward the budget so that all parliamentarians can see it and Canadians can understand what the vision for the country is. Then, of course, my favorite part, we get out on the road for the budget tour, which means talking with Canadians about all the different elements in the budget, because there's usually so much in the budget, we can't just share it all in one day. Well, we try, but if in the following days and weeks we get to highlight certain aspects of it that mean more to one community or another, it's a great way of making sure Canadians are seeing all the things the government has planned and all the things that we're delivering for them as we move forward. Budget tour is always the best part of the budget for me, because we get to actually see how the things that we've laid out are going to be impacting Canadians, and Canadians see that we're going in the right direction and responding to their real concerns. But at the same time as we're out on tour, we start the final step, which is the parliamentary process, which involves voting on the budget, debating the budget, moving forward with various implementations of the budget that have to go through a debate and committee and move over to the Senate before they get royal assent. We're in a democracy. That process of discussing and debating, disagreeing and moving forward with the budget is really, really important to make sure that all Canadians know that everything's being properly challenged and tested and is the right way for the country. The parliamentary process is a hugely important part of how we make sure we're all moving together in the right direction. So that's what the budget process is about. I can tell you in advance, this budget will be focused on 3 big things. First of all, affordability, making sure that we're there to help Canadians through the difficult times that we know everyone's living with right now. Secondly is investing in healthcare, making sure that we're delivering real results for Canadians, like better access to family doctors, better data and health information, and other things we're doing as well. And third, making sure we're setting up Canada for success with great jobs for the future at the same time. This is the approach we're taking, and this is how the budget matters to you.